Hey guys, welcome to the weekly tarot forecast for the Numinous week beginning September the 29th. I'm Lindsay Mack, and the card that I've pulled for us this week is Six of Wands. So we are continuing a theme about coming up and out into the world. Six of Wands is about, very simply, visibility, being literally energetically a little bit higher, certainly not than other people, but up higher, literally. So we are seen by more, felt by more. It's kind of being in an energy where all of a sudden you're more visible. There's just no other way to put that. It can be on a very small scale or on a very large scale. It's not always something we can see, but we can feel it. It might be something that we can feel. The idea is we want to take advantage of it. We want to come out, again, kind of playing into the energetics of the Emperor, which is still, in its own way, sort of moving through us even now. We want to bring our internal stuff forward. So the other thing about this, so bring it forward, really trust your voice, really trust your vision, let things pour out. You know, this is also reflected, we're about ready to launch the October Tarotscopes now, but if you go back and you reflect on your written monthly Tarotscope that I also write, this is really, most of the signs have this energy moving through them this month about you're ready, bring it forward, and even if you don't, you know, in a written context, this has been the flow of September, is like, if you got it in you, bring it forward. Now's the time. It's very important. There's kind of two other things to know about this. One is really kind of large and esoteric and more macrocosmic, and the other one is a little bit more microcosmic. So the macrocosmic piece is, again, we are at a very crucial, you might say, crisis point with our planet and with our Earth. If we've got something in us that we are here and promise to bring forward as a soul, now is the time. So it's not to put pressure on you, because if you're listening to these Tarotscopes being like, what is it? What am I supposed to bring? That's cool. You're where you're supposed to be. But if you're someone who's been sitting on something, I'm talking to you. You got to bring it forward. And even those of you who don't know what it is or what I'm even talking about, you could literally not even know what I'm talking about. If that's you, you're most likely exactly where you're supposed to be. Completely trust it. If something wants to come forward, it will. So this is a larger thing. This is not just about like, hey, do you bring your thing forward for you? It is for you, but it's also for everyone. So understand that that's very important. And the microcosmic piece is, I know in the Smith Rider-Waite, the person who is on that horse, there's someone kind of on a horse, sort of victorious, and there are people kind of looking up at him or at him on that horse. There's two kind of pieces to this. It sort of looks like in the Smith Rider-Waite, like people are gossiping about him, and that's pretty standard when energetically we're beaming really bright. People are going to talk. They might have nice things to say, they might not. It's none of your business, as RuPaul says. What anyone says about you, this is Lindsay does RuPaul. It is none of your business what anyone thinks about you, unless it is. And even then, you're allowed to let it go in and let it come out. You do you. People, you know, people shield their eyes with bright light. If you're shining the really good stuff, people are probably going to be talking about you. Let them talk. It's cool. There have been times where I'm sure you have talked about people when they've beamed their light out bright. It's okay. It's all about learning and understanding and catching ourselves in those moments. You don't need to catch the people who are talking about you. You just keep shining brightly. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you're really not in this kind of flow of being visible, and this sort of doesn't really align for you, like maybe you're just not in that. The other thing that's also really important about the Six of Wands is the fact that the gentleman on the horse can see. He's literally further up than the people standing on the ground are. He can see further ahead. So even if you're not in a space where you necessarily feel like energetically there's something that wants to come through your mouth and be birthed through you, and know that the energy is here making you available to see really clearly, further, not necessarily further than others, but in your own way, to see in a further way than perhaps you were able to before, or perhaps you knew you could see. So it's really about trusting that vision as well, and letting whatever wants to come through the vision come through in an earthly way when it's time. So let it out. Do your thing. Don't care if anyone likes it. That's what I have to say this week. So enjoy the week. Be well. And I'll see you in October. Bye-bye.